Hello everyone. Okay, so today we look at this biology question. So this one is coming from genetics, and of course we are going to place our focus today on genetic diagrams. So right with me is a sample question that's going to demonstrate how genetic diagrams are supposed to be drawn, and this one is coming from an exam paper for ECZ. Right. So using this question, we are going to be able to carry out basic steps that you are supposed to follow when drawing a genetic diagram. Alright, so with me of this question, and it reads: a normal couple had a hemophilic son. Okay, so this is hemophilia. Okay, so talking about hemophilia, we should understand to say it's a genetic disorder. Okay, so since we're looking at genetics, and you must understand, say, hemophilia is a genetic disorder which is carried by a recessive allele. Right. So when someone is lacking certain clotting factors in the blood, okay, to be specific, factor 7 and factor 9, you will discover that these people are going to have prolonged bleeding as in compared to the normal bleeding. Okay, so they tend to lose a lot of blood. So when you cut yourself, you will find that you're losing a lot of blood, and the clot doesn't happen just there and then, since you're lacking certain factors. Now, this is a certain disorder that is called X-linked disorder. Since you understand to say sex inheritance, in sex inheritance, you have two types of chromosomes. So you have the Y and the X chromosomes. Now, this hemophilic allele is a non-sexy allele, and since this non-sex allele is attached to a sex chromosome, to be specific, it is attached to the X chromosome. Okay, so this is why we've been given XH and the XH small. Alright, so let me just break down for everyone to be able to understand. Okay, so the question says write the genotypes of the father. So you know the genotypes is what we can see. Okay, the genotype is the genetic makeup. Okay, so the father, you understand to say males have this kind of a setup. Okay, so the sex linkage for males are like this. Then you discover that the X itself, the sex X chromosome, is a bit longer than the Y chromosome. Okay, then in females they only have X, so you have X and X for the female. So for the mother you have this one, and for the father you have this one. Now, since the mother is normal and also the father is normal, okay, so you understand to say the father here is the X and the Y. Okay, now since we are using this one for normal, so we're going to use the big H there. Okay, and this is the genotype for the father. So since males are X and Y, so this is what you're going to have. Then females have two X's, so you have X and X. Now, this parent is a normal, because they said a normal couple. So both the father and the mother were normal. So here you discover that the mother was just a carrier, so she was like this. Okay, so this kind of an allele is a recessive. Okay, so this is hemophilic alleles can be known as recessive alleles in the sense that they are overshadowed by this capital H. Okay, so here the capital H is dominant. Okay, so this one is dominating this one. This is a recessive. So in this case, our mother was actually the carrier. So A2 says draw a genetic diagram to show how hemophilic son could have been born. Okay, so here we're trying to predict the chances of this couple to have a child with the hemophilia. Okay, so this was very simple. Of course, a genetic diagram will be like so: you have parents, male, crossing with a female. This is how you start it. Simple. Then you say parents phenotype. Okay, or parental phenotype. Okay, what do we have here? We discover that they are all normal. Okay, so normal father, crossing with the normal mother. This is the phenotype. Okay, so it's a normal couple. Okay, so we're looking at that. Then you're breaking it down to parental genotype. And this one now we're going to have, and this one now we're going to get just this what you've written here. So when these are correct, it means it's going to be easy for you. So this is what you're going to have for the father and for the mother, like that. Right. Then after meiosis happens, so these genotypes break into gametes. So after meiosis happens, so this process is called meiosis. So they break into what? Gametes. And the gametes, just get this, what you have here is X, H, Y here. So this one goes this side and this one comes here. Then you have XH and XCH like that. Right. Now, at this process now, at this stage now, what happens here is the fertilization. So it's random kind of fertilization, and we're calling it random fertilization. Okay? So after fertilization, discover that this one is the first allele pairing with the first allele from the father and the mother. So this, like that, producing H there, H there. Not so? Then again, the first one and the second one. So this and that, producing H, this one, like that. Then moving forward, this Y now is going to pair with this one. Since we're done with this one has paired with this one, and you produce this set. So this one has paired with that one, and you produce this set. Now, this small h can never dominate the capital H. So you can never have a case where you present it like that. This one never happens. Okay, so always, since this is a recessive disorder, it has to be overshadowed by the capital H, and you present it this way. Now you have this one and this one. So you start with H. So this is going to be like that. Alright? Then again, this guy and this one, you're going to have X, H, Y. So again, for the guys, you can never have a case where you have YX. It's always XY. Understand? So that's something very tricky. We always have to follow the conventional formats. Alright, now if we analyze the results, you discover that these are offsprings. So these are offsprings what? Offsprings genotype. So these are the genotypes for the babies. Now this baby is female and normal. This baby is female, but she's a carrier of some kind. Okay? This she has the small h there. This baby here is male, and this baby is male. So this is baby male normal. This is baby male hemophilic. Okay? So this is the guy that's affected here. This one has a capital H, so just like the father, is also normal there. So now, how many kids do we have in this case? So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if we were to calculate the chance of having a son with hemophilia, so we can just break it down saying offspring phenotype. Offspring phenotype here. Phenotype. So we have normal male, normal female, and you have normal carrier, this carrier female, and then hemophilic, this guy is sick, so bad for him. Hemophilic son, and this one is normal son or normal male. Normal son or normal male. So these are daughters. So they're females. You can say normal daughter, carrier daughter. It's okay. Okay. Like that. So now, for this kind of equation, it says show using a genetic diagram how the son, hemophilic son, would have been born. So now you have to explain, say, the chance. So here we are looking at it, 1/4 chance. Okay? So this is one way you can present it. You can also present this in form of decimals, and this is going to come like that. And in form of percentages, it's going to be 25%. Since when you multiply this by 100, a 4 goes into 25 times, and you get that. Then this one to decimals, you discovered 4 into 10 is 0. Into 1, I mean 0 into 10 is 2, and into 20 it's 5. So now you explain using the figures that you have here. Okay, so this is all about it, genetic diagrams. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and share our videos, and also comment the topics that you would love us do next time. Peace.